Hallelujah. Your praise only begins to take place when you go beyond the music to declare what the lyrics of the song is saying. When you look at your life, you look at the situation you are going through, and you can declare that He is the most high God, then your prayers begin to make sense. Your prayers begin to make way to heaven. Amen, people of God. We give God praise. Amen. We are going to welcome now Ike's Green. Amen.
Amen. Hallelujah. Just before Brother Alex minister, I want to share something with you. As we're preparing for this night of worship, this atmosphere of worship, the Spirit of God said I should share a part of my life that I don't really talk about. And I want to share a testimony for those who are going through something. And whilst we're worshiping and singing, "You are the Most High," He reminded me. So, and this is the part of my life that I want to share. And I know we were going live, but I'm going to share it anyway. I don't usually share testimonies because I don't want it to butter what God is doing. That I don't love to share testimony, but before I met my husband, I've gone to this church in Ivory Coast and we were there. So before then, for a year, I lived with a lady who was so kind to take me in for a year. I was very young in the Lord, very young in age as well. So after a year, I had to leave. And I was staying with another couple, and then God transitioned us into our own place where we were 3 girls. We started out by 3 and we were sleeping on the floor. But that's not the part. The part is, we prayed and we said, God, whatever it is, but then we're living like about, maybe about 30 minutes, as a matter of fact, 45 minutes away from the church. So we prayed and said, God, whatever it is, just make way for us to go to church. And by then I was just 2 years in the Lord, 1 year and a half. And I remember those times we didn't have money to eat. And you know when people make farms, right? And they go and pick up the product after the harvest, there are some that are left behind. And people had dry farms and they were dry. And you go, and sometimes some places in the farm you will see like human manure, human feces, dried one. And we will go into the garden and we will pick potato grains. How many of you from Liberia, you know what it is? So we would pick it up from there, we'll go home, cook, and we would pray over the food and say, God, everything that this food needs to nourish our body, let it be in it. Amen? And it happened for a period of time. There were many days we lived with sugar and water in the house because we preferred to take the little amount that we had to be in church, just to be in God's presence and perform the duty that God has called us to do. And sometimes we would have ride to go to church and we wouldn't even know how we getting back. We'll catch a ride, and if you live in Abidjan, you know that there's a popular parking area that is called Riviera 3. So from Riviera 3, how many of you from Ivory Coast and you know Akwedo?
Yep.
You know the distance from Riviera 3 to Akwedo, right? Yep. It's a long distance. And is it over 50 miles? Less than 50 miles. And if we don't get a ride from there, we'll walk from Riviera 3 to Akwedo. Are you hearing me, somebody? So just in case you're about to give up on God, just in case you're about to throw in the towel,
come on.
Just in case you're about to say, you're saying to yourself that this life has no meaning, God is still on the throne. God is still on the throne. If I didn't tell you this, you wouldn't know that I've been through it. But for the sake of Christ, God is alive. Yes. It didn't kill me. Whatever, human feces, dry feces, or whatever, we will pick the potato grains from in the same farm. It didn't kill me because God had a purpose for me. And if you're here and you're hearing this testimony and you're about to give up on God, God is the oasis in the desert. He's still making way where there's none. Hear me and hear me well. Not for me, but to the glory of God. God is able. Don't give up on God. Never turn your back on God, because God is faithful. God is, I remember that times that we had some of our friends living in the same compound, boys, and God set it up in such a way they didn't know how to cook. So sometimes when times they'll come to us and say, you know what, can you all cook for us? Oh yeah, we'll cook for you gladly. And out of what they give us, that's how we would eat that day. And sometimes we would get to Riviera-Trois, and we'll see one of them standing up, just sitting on the side of the road and just looking at cars passing. Look at God. And I say, what are you doing here tonight? And it would be one of those nights that we did not have a ride or had money to go to Aquedo. So nothing, I'm just here. I'm just here. So, okay, we know what you're here for. You are here. You are waiting for us. Let's go home. God is a miracle worker. Don't take your God for granted. To the glory of God.
We hear testimonies. Sometimes it comes with a worst experience. Sometimes with a better one. But as we've come tonight under this atmosphere of worship, my prayer tonight is that we leave with an awesome testimony.
Amen.
And that can only happen if you form part of the worship tonight. I don't think the name worship, atmosphere of worship just came back just because it had to come. But there is a word, and there's a reason why God gave this. And so if you're in this room tonight under my voice, I'd like you to be a part of what we're doing tonight. Alright? Your love is kind. Your love is patient. You fill my heart with so much peace and joy.
I can't even tell you what just happened right this moment here, right now. There is somebody who caused the heaven to bring this song on earth right now. There is somebody who's at the edge. There is somebody who has caused the heaven to respond and say, call upon the God of miracle tonight. You are here tonight. You are here tonight. The whole thing just shifted for you. There is somebody here tonight that is crying and say, God, I need a miracle. And the heaven was shifted. It went from just a worship song to a miracle service right now. There is somebody whose cry has been heard into heaven. I don't know who that is, but I'm here to tell you your God knows about you. Your God knows about you. And I thank you, God, for faithful servant who know how to pick up what your will is. I thank you, God. Somebody just lift up your voice, begin to take off. That God said, put our agenda aside, just so that you hear that He knows that you need a miracle. Somebody here tonight wants that miracle so bad that God had to put a pause. Is it okay if we just come to the front real quick? Is it okay if we just come to the front? I want us to declare this thing tonight together. Come and do a miracle tonight. I'm waiting. Come and do. I need some people right here. If you believe in God for a miracle tonight, come on. Come and do a miracle today. Everybody say, come and do
are coming to get me. She was in debt. And he said to her, go and borrow more jars. It made no sense. It makes no sense. And she borrowed jars. As long as there was a jar, God performed the miracle. As long as this lady believed in her heart that God was going to pour oil, all she needed to do is just to dip from her one jar and pour. And sometimes all you need is just a step of faith. We're not laying hands on you. You hear me? What we're doing, this is the altar of God. And the word of God said in Chronicles, when Solomon built the temple, he said, Lord God, every time we raise up our hands, even if it's plague, even if we turn away from your word, even if we neglected your promises, when we raise our hands before your throne in this temple, hear from heaven, come here and do something. 1 Kings 19, Hezekiah received a letter from the king of Assyria. He said, I'm coming to get you and I'm coming to defeat you and destroy and take over. He took the letter of threat that he received and he presented it to the altar. He began to praise God and presented the threat. I don't know the threat that the enemy has thrown at you and you need a miracle for. Come on, there are some people in the aisle. Make way. If this is the only thing that we will do today, that's okay with me. Make way. I want you, if you need to bow. If you need to right or move to my left and there are people coming, let them come. Make sure you come to the altar. Make way.